at radiofreebrooklyn.org.
Like improv and acting and all
Yeah. Here it is.
I'm in the middle of a conversation.
Oh, damn.
It was
Just
a really
broke
good
in
one.
on candid.
Yeah.
Candid moment.
Talking about leaving my dog.
Oh,
Sad.
how does it make you feel?
Yeah, it's like, I don't think I'll ever not feel a little like sad or guilty or like,
Wow.
Aw.
some level of negative emotion. Because all he wants to do is just hang out. So,
Damn.
yeah. I mean, right now he's just sleeping, so it doesn't really matter. Like, if I brought him here, he would just go to sleep anyway. So
Do you have one of those dog cams where you like watch him while he sleeps while you're away?
No.
I'm glad because
Yeah.
people really have those.
Mm. I mean, yeah, they love their dog. I'm imagining just some sort of dramedy or sitcom of just you as a single dad to a dog.
Oh, it feels like that in my life. Like,
Wow.
I feel like a single dad. Yeah.
Maybe you should be writing about this. This feels like it'd be a really interesting show. Just this
Yeah.
this
I mean,
moment in your life, and
I guess that's a good feedback because it has been an interesting journey in the sense that I guess like I didn't want to get a puppy. I was like adamant that one of my rules was like I was not going to get a puppy because it was just going to be too much.
wow.
And then I ended up with him. One, because they lied and told me that he was older than he was. But then it was just like, oh, I have a much younger dog than I really ever wanted to ever have.
Wow,
Yeah.
this is gonna sound terrible, but that's the same experience I had with my ex-girlfriend.
They lied about their age.
Well, no, she didn't lie at all. I assumed
just-
she was my age, and she was much younger.
How much younger?
She was 7 years younger than me. Yeah.
Oh, that's not that crazy. I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah.
were going to say way more.
No. But I just when I met her, I was like, oh, she's like my age. This is great.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that anymore.
No, 7 years would give me pause too.
Yeah.
If I met somebody that was 7 years younger than me, I'd be like,
I was 33. She was 25. Yeah.
yeah.
It wasn't meant to
One
be.
of my
Wasn't meant
good
to be.
friends, they're a really strong couple, and they have a 17-year age difference. So,
Damn.
you know, who knows?
The age gaps to me. Hey, this is no suggestion. I'm Ralph G. Pierre.
I was literally just about to say we should actually introduce our guest.
Co-host
I'm
Jake Joseph is here, and we got a wonderful special guest tonight. We got Liz Coyne. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, just like it sounds.
Wow. I
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, what is your full government name?
My full government name is Elizabeth. My middle name is Nafsika. I'm Greek, and my last name is Coyne.
I was conceived in Greece.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really?
My dad was in the Air Force.
Wow. What
yeah.
do you know? What part of Greece?
I don't, but I just know that my dad at the last minute was like, we got to birth this baby in Brooklyn. And we flew back to New York, and I was born in Brooklyn. But I was this close to being Greek.
Oh, I knew we were connected.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
There it is. Opa.
Opa. I don't know anything about Greece.
I'll
but,
tell you everything you need to know.
I like mythology. Have you been there?
Oh, yeah, I go a lot. I have a crazy Greece story, and it's related to improv.
What?
Ooh.
Okay, let's start there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, it would be a year ago to the day. Is
What?
the 25th? It's going to 26th?
This is the 25th now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I actually was like, I have no idea what day it is.
Yeah, it's nebulous. Yeah. I went
And it's my mom's birthday today.
Shout out to
Shout out to In Heaven. She's in heaven.
Well, extra
she
shout
is
outs.
in heaven.
Yeah.
Shout out to you
Hell
in heaven.
yeah,
Yeah,
she
mom.
lives in you.
Yeah,
It's your
yeah.
birthday through her.
There it is.
Yeah.
I was put in her belly in Greece. All right, tell this story. Tell
I
the story.
love it. Yeah. So I went to Greece a year ago for my cousin's wedding. They live in Athens, and it was a solo trip. I went to like represent my family because my yaya, I'm her namesake, and so she.
Your
sent
yaya is
me-
your grandma?
Yaya is my grandmother. Yeah, Nafsika. So I'm her namesake. So I like went in her stead to the wedding. It's the whole thing. And I get there, I'm like on this hot girl solo trip. I'm riding around in the back of men's mopeds, and I find a sign that says Improvibe. And I was like, no shot. They have improv in Athens. So I went in, I said hi, and I said, I'm an improviser from New York. They say, no way. Tomorrow night, we're having our very first ever all English improv jam. You should come.
Wow, that's like real serendipity.
It was. And
Yeah.
I went, and it was awesome. It was a bunch of Greek improvisers
Yeah.
doing improv in English, which is already nutso to do improv in your second language. I really admire people doing that.
Yeah.
And it was some short form and some long form at a bar that truly could be described as like the Bushwick of Athens. Athens. And yeah, I met a man there, and then he came and visited New York, and I went and visited Athens, and I had a whole like Mamma Mia love story with this improv man. He was not an improviser. He just happened to be at the bar that they were doing shitty Greek improv at. It was great.
Gotcha. I had another friend also through improv who went to Greece and then found love. So
that's crazy.
You should eat, pray, love this story.
I should.
I'm just a girl from Bushwick. I don't know how to deal with a Greek man. I don't feel like this is gonna. Don't look at me that way. Don't say. I like the way you say your name. Say your name to me again.
Alexandros.
Oh my goodness.
Jessica, put on these wax wings.
What?
Put on these wax wings.
What are those gonna do?
Because it's part of their culture.
Cindy, wax wings.
Cindy, you're crazy. I got wax wings on.
Oh, inakala.
Whoa, you're speaking Greek. I've never been here before. I'm just from Bushwick.
Be careful about how close you get to the sun. Burning light will melt those wings.
Why are you fading? I feel like I can't even touch what's happening. What's happening in Greece? Yeah. I'm just a photo assistant from Bushwick.
So you're so different. Your eyes, magical.
Oh my!
They're magical. Matarismu.
What are you stirring down there?
It's a Hefeweizen. It's a beer. They got German beer in Athena.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
All right. I'd love it if you'd tell me some more about my eyes.
Oh, your eyes. They just look like they've seen troubles. They've seen something different than I've ever seen here in Athena.
Jessica, your wings are melting in the light of his beauty.
Oh, she's so beautiful. Wait, say your name one more time.
Alexandros. You're perfect.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
Cindy, this is
Cindy. Cindy.
I'm Jessica. This is Cindy.
Cindy. Get Jessica.
Hi.
Cindy, wow. Your eyes are also beautiful.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Be careful. Put on the wings. See.
Oh yeah.
Oh, two beautiful women in my favorite bar.
Are you Zeus? Like, there's all those Greek stories about how Zeus turns into a person and then just tries to hook up.
Cindy, his name is Alexandros.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can trust you. I feel like you're just this beautiful Greek man just seducing all these Bushwick girls that come through.
There's so many
Greece.
Bushwick girls who come into this bar.
Wow.
You'd be shocked. They all find it on TripAdvisor or something.
Yeah.
Did you put it on TripAdvisor?
Shh.
This feels like some sort of trap that we're willingly walking into. And I just got my little handbag and my little.
The only thing I know about Greek culture is from mythology, and if that is true, then we should walk into this like tragic heroes.
Okay, I
follow your instincts.
I saw something about a kid who went to Mount Olympus once. I think maybe or some sort of show with Ryan Gosling, young Hercules.
Yeah, honey, you mean Huncules?
Whoa! What? You have so much chest hair.
I know.
Oh my God!
Oh God! Wow. I've never felt more like a woman ever in my life.
Good. It's where I store all my powers in my chest hair, and if you go lower, it's on my belly too.
Oh my God! This beer tastes like honey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, you know how to say honey in Greek?
I said no.
It's meli.
Meli.
Oh, you're perfect.
Mel.
You have the best pronunciation.
Ooh.
I
Jessica, Cindy.
Do you?
I feel like I'm a third wheel here.
No,
is it just me?
Cindy, you're part of it.
No, I
will be seduced. You can't leave because I will be seduced.
Look, the Greeks invented geometry, and I don't think this triangle is the right shape for what's about to happen.
Oh my God,
Cindy, the Greeks invented everything.
Scene.
Beautiful. Oh my word.
Oh my God, so sexy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I had to channel my inner Greek guy who did that exact thing to me at the
fantastic.
bar.
Oh. Did you have the same reaction as Cindy and Jessica?
I did, yeah. I was like,
Okay.
let me see your chest hair.
Let me view it.
And we
Okay.
did drink Hefeweizens. That was actually based on real truth. I was like, why do they have only German beer at this weird Greek bar? Y'all know what Hefeweizen is?
Yeah. Do they have, what is Greek beer?
I don't. it isn't. There's nothing like
Okay.
specific Greek beer. I was just shocked that they had like specifically German brand beers that whatever, you know how it is.
What's the thing that you're always looking forward to when you go to Greece? Like to eat or to drink or to a place to go?
Yeah, I am looking for the olives.
Wow.
Or the olives or the olive oil. And yeah, just any of the like fresh fruits and vegetables. Like you go and you get a salad there and it's just so good. You know, it's like a Greek salad, but then you go there and they're just like, it's just salad.
It's a salad, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just stuff that we got out from the ground and put on a plate for you.
Yeah. And everyone in Greece is just so like, just down, just chill, just like, well, the best, like you can't see my hands. It's it's a audio medium, but it's just this hand
hands.
motion of like, yeah, we'll get to it. Right. It's
Hands
no one's in a
circulating
big
forward.
hurry. There's
Yeah.
no big.
Are you
Hurry.
like most? If I heard that from most New Yorkers, they would find that as the most infuriating thing ever. Is that you or no?
No, I love it. I've only been in New York a couple of years here, so I can't say I'm fully in the New York thing. And when you go, you're transported enough that it doesn't bother you.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it actually feels like a relief, and you're like, oh wait, I think I'm stupid. I think people should live like this, and it is dumb for us to work so late into the night and not eat dinner with our community and like live in a walkable place where you can just like go out on the street with your kids and other people look out for you. Like it's a very, even in Athens, you know, it's a big city, but it's a community, you know.
You want to pull the mic a little bit closer?
Oh, yeah,
to
for sure.
You're doing great.
Hello.
I feel
Now
I've been in New York most of my life. I don't know. I feel that whole hustle and bustle thing is a little overstated. I understand that the city is a kind of this pressurized thing, but I don't have much of that. And I've been here my whole life. I think I got more of the Greek thing in me. I got more like a
That's where you were conceived.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Got that spirit in me. I had that. I don't even know some of the moussakas.
Yeah. Oh, we got to get ourselves over to Astoria, you guys.
Oh, is that where all the Greek?
Is that where Greek
Yeah, that's
life is?
that's Greek town in New York. Y'all didn't know that? You guys have lived here longer than me.
I've only been here 3 years.
I never-
what?
I'm barely a New Yorker.
Oh my
I
gosh.
never-
Even
go
if
to
I
Queens.
don't even know if I'm allowed to claim being a New Yorker.
Where were you before New York?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
You were in Chicago.
I was in Chicago.
Are you lifelong Chicagoan?
No. I grew up in Iowa.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Kooky crazy.
What is it? Yeah, tell us about that. What's that? Is that?
Honestly, I got to tell you, it was a great place to grow up.
Yeah.
I grew up on the border of Iowa, Illinois, and a river town. I was like a little river rat. And
Ooh.
weirdly, this like it was, you know, it's a city, but surrounded by very farmy, huge theater city. Like very big arts and theaters and music. And like I was in band and choir, like for a small town in Iowa, like very celebratory of the arts and like a lot
Was
of
it
community
because
theaters.
of the river?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch out, Trevor. I spotted him. I spotted the river rat. I spotted him. We're going to get our pitchforks and get him this time.
Just sometimes when I'm here by the riverbed at this time of night, I hear a beautiful noise, like the rats are putting on a show.
Trevor, don't you be seduced by the Broadway show that the rats put on. That's a diversion, so we won't kill them. But we got to because they can overrun the town.
Look, I respect art. I respect art. Oh my God.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Oh, surprise, surprise, you ran into the rat. It's me.
The river rat.
River rat.
Oh, my God.
Stay your blade, Othello.
I got to kill it before he draws me into its cabaret.
Don't.
Ha, da, to river rats
That's
all
doing
for
Fosse.
you and me.
Fosse choreography.
River rats all the eye can see.
I can't help but to join in. River
Rat.
rats
Trevor.
are for you and
Where'd you get that
Trevor.
playbill, Trevor?
River rats saw the
for
river.
river.
Welcome to the show, Trevor.
Oh my God.
We've been waiting for you.
It's a concession stand.
Oh, have a salted nut roll and some peanut M&Ms.
Oh God.
We got to kill these river rats.
Look, I've been looking for culture. I've been looking for culture everywhere since I've been born in this dusty, corn-laden town.
That playbill says Jesus Christ Superstar.
I
Okay.
know. I went to New York City the other weekend.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Sir.
The stage is rising. River rat.
River rat.
No, we're gonna kill you, river rat. You've been eating too many of our crops and stored foods.
Join us in this production of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Accept the theater into your life.
I can't,
So just a little bit.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I got to stand strong and stand firm and protect our crops and our stored goods.
Boy, what's your name?
My name is Othello. Like that, it's a strange name, but
Fellow.
wait a minute, what is this?
Don't be afraid of what you've always known.
Why am I wearing a sequined suit?
Fellow.
The spotlight is on you.
I'm in the
Fellow.
show.
You look amazing in that suit. You're meant for more. You're meant for more than that pitchfork life. You need glitz,
Tossing
glam.
the pitchfork away, Trevor.
Yeah. Good. And listen to my piano.
Oh my God, you're a music director.
Fellow, my fellow man. You are meant to be more than you are. Step out of the light and into the dark.
There's tears in my eyes. Oh no!
Jesus Christ, superstar.
I'm drawn into the narrative.
Yes, get that man into my musical.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's where the scene was going.
Isn't that the beauty?
That's
Well,
the
if we
beauty.
if we talk about river rats in theater, then we got to do river
Gotta
rat
do
theater.
it.
Yeah.
Gotta do
Yeah.
it.
I love it.
I saw you were an Iowa river rat, and then it was a little tiny town.
I'm
Yeah.
fascinated by being what does being a river rat
It just
mean?
means you go into you swim and like go on little boats and like do a lot of water activities.
Okay, so it's just like childish hooligans, but in a river.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
chill. And
Yeah.
I honestly, I aged out of that as soon as I found community theater. I was like, I have to be on the stage.
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually the first time I ever did comedy stuff was at that community theater. I did, they had a sketch comedy group there. I was 13 and it was like these community people who were all older than me. And they started a sketch group called the Laughleets. And I was like, I'm in. And we had a monthly show and we would do a new sketch show every month and like bring in a musical artist. And
What was your favorite sketch from that time?
yeah, we did a parody sketch of Dora the Explorer called Laura the Implorer. And I played Gloves the Monkey. And God, I really don't, I bet I have video or like old scripts of that in the archives, but all roads lead to me playing like a very over the top, like kooky, crazy, high energy character. And that's very much what Gloves the Monkey was. And I think he like led her to like doom every time or something. Like he was a big.
What was Laura imploring?
Oh man, I don't fucking know. I don't know. But
It probably was a long time ago.
it was
but
a
yeah.
long time ago. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And then, that is so wild that you started that young doing this sketch and improv
world.
stuff. Oh, I had a question on the top of my head.
Mm.
It's gone. But
That's
that
okay.
was in Iowa?
That was in Iowa. Yeah, I guess technically that was on the Illinois side of the river because it was in my hometown and I just always loved it. I did a lot of theater, a lot of musicals, and I did improv in high school. I was the captain of my improv team called Whack It.
Ooh.
Shout
in
out.
high school.
Yeah, in high school.
Was this a short form team?
Yeah, we did short form, but we went to competitions. We would do like the statewide competitions, and that was more long form. We would just get I haven't thought about this in years, but they would like give us a suggestion, and we were just to do an open scene. I think we usually had like 5 to 7 minutes, and we
Damn.
had no coach or like anyone training us. It was truly just 4 of us.
Getting ready for New York.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had no idea what back then.
Shout out to Whack It. And then, do you have siblings?
I do. Yeah, I'm the youngest of 3.
Okay, you're the youngest of 3.
Is that what led you to being a performer?
Being the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I also I've always been very like I'm the drama. I just like specifically remember being like 10 and being in the living room and being like, I think today I'm going to practice fainting. And then I like did it a bunch and then I like walked in the kitchen. I'm like, Mom, I think you need to sign me up for like drama lessons. She's like,
Wow.
okay. Yeah, you know.
And is
I
anyone
thought that
else?
story was going to end with someone believing that you'd fainted.
Oh, that would be way better. Damn it. I'll rewrite it next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Write that sketch.
Next life.
Yeah.
Was there anyone else in your family who's in the arts?
No, not as much. Everyone was artistically supportive, and like we had a lot of like musical people and very big supporters of the arts, but no one was like technically an actor. I guess maybe my yaya was an actor. She was a model. My grandmother is hot. That's all I have to say. But yeah, it existed in that world of artistic, and we went and saw a lot of shows.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was sick. And then I went to school for it.
And that was Chicago.
Yeah. So I wanted to go to a school near Second City in Chicago because I knew I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And so I went to Northwestern.
So you knew young, like where you were. How young would you say you knew? Like it's in some form, like I'm heading in this direction.
I knew I wanted to be an actor. I didn't know that it was specifically sketch stuff, but I've always, I mean, maybe since I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah. Wow.
I really wanted to do it, which is so annoying. I was insufferable. Like, you know, Glee, like I was for sure. I was a motherfucking Gleek.
Yeah.
I was the worst.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I've gotten much cooler, maybe.
And how much time do you spend in Chicago when you're young? Is that just like a place you visit, or Chicago is like that was a whole different world when you got there?
We definitely visited it. We would go. It was like 2.5 hours away, so we'd go sometimes. I'd remember though the first time I went and saw Second City because I was in high school and that we were touring Chicago for my brother to maybe go to college in Chicago, and we just went to a show. We like got dinner beforehand and went to a show, and I remember being like gobsmacked. I was like, I want to do that more. Like my dad got pulled up on stage, and I was like, oh, like Dad, you got to go on stage. Like I was I just loved it. I loved everything about it. And I knew I really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love that.
Yeah. What was like I guess like, so you spent college in Chicago and then some time after that?
Yeah. So I did college in Chicago and I did conservatory during undergrad. So I had a truck. I drove a I drove a bright yellow pickup truck called the Banana Truck, and I drove it.
Shout out the Banana Truck.
Shout out Banana Truck. I don't have it anymore.
No,
but that's
what happened with my mom.
Yeah, your mom's driving my truck in heaven.
Nice.
In yellow Banana Truck heaven.
She's eating moussaka.
Oh, that sounds great. Can I go?
Yeah. That's
but I would drive it.
Yeah. All right, but tell us about Yellow Banana Truck life.
Yellow Banana Truck life. Yeah, I drove it to and from Chicago all the time. So I was in undergrad doing the whole college thing, and I was like, I'm going to do Second City too, which I don't, if I had to do it over again, I probably would still do it, but it did have its downsides because I was young. Like imagine if you're taking a bunch of improv classes and you're in like a cohort, because at this point I went to conservatory. So you're with the same people. So
theater conservatory.
No. Second City Conservatory.
Oh, interesting.
They have like a 6-level conservatory. You re-audition. Second City is a huge undergoing if you're going through their program proper.
Wow.
And
you're in college for what?
I was at school. I was a film major.
Okay.
I did some. I didn't really do. I should have been a theater major, but whatever. There's no shoulds in life, I suppose. But yeah, I didn't. I like pivoted away from performing for a while. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do business and whatever. But I still ended up doing Second City, and I was young. So yeah, if you just imagine like this like young college kid who's like also fully in college, half an hour away, but drives and like is in the scene and like comes to jams when they're not fucking doing homework. Like that was me, and I loved it, and I got a lot out of it.
I was about to say, like, I feel like you must have enjoyed it because you seem like a very precocious, like tenacious person. So,
thank you. Yeah, I did like it. I wondered sometimes some people didn't. I don't know if some people liked. Not that they didn't like me. I don't think that was really a thing. But sometimes I wondered. I'm like, oh, I guess I am young. It didn't occur to me then that I was young. I thought I was just in it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like I don't know what Chicago's like, but it feels like that's really a young person's endeavor to really get out there and chase their dream and drive an hour and a half each way. And I'm doing.
Just half an hour. It wasn't that long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so I was in college and doing Second City at the same time. So trying to juggle both worlds. I had like a foot in each world. And I loved Second City. I made so many cool friends there. I graduated that program in 2019 and was like doing a little sketch show there and was doing stuff. And then you know what happens. So
yeah.
Well, we were talking earlier about how different the New York and Chicago improv scenes are, because we don't. New York is it's a thing I lament and that I sort of love about the New York improv scene is we have a strong sketch scene, but we're not like Chicago, where I think in Chicago, this is what I imagine, you correct me, but I think almost all improvisers write in Chicago. They're two separate disciplines that everyone does. Everyone writes sketch and does sketch, and everyone does improv. In New York, that is not the case. In New York, people just do improv. Some people do improv their whole career and never even get near sketch.
I've also met a lot of people that do sketch and won't ever do improv.
Yes.
Yeah.
Neither the twain shall meet for some reason here in New York. You know, there's people who do both for sure, but it's very like improv is its own thing. And I know in Chicago, that was like sort of the Bernie Solins and then the Dale Close kind of. Bernie was like, improv is for sketch. And Dale was like, improv can just be on its own.
Right.
New York is a very Dale. There used to be a festival here named after Dale.
Yeah.
We're
I mean, I feel like that makes sense because isn't it, I guess I don't really know my improv history super well, but like it started in Chicago and then was brought, like Dell's students brought it to New York.
Well, technically it started in New York with the Compass Players, and then some of those guys went to Chicago and helped start
You think? I would say technically it started with Viola Spolin in the 30s.
I think those marry. I think there's two different strains that marry, but Viola's a Chicago person.
You improvised from the moment of your birth, but you know.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But I think, there's a bunch of different strains, but those big ones, I think, start like that. And Viola's a big part. There's not much Viola talk in New York either.
That's
we don't
crazy.
do a lot of.
I talk about Viola all the time, and my world and character. I feel like you talk more about Viola in character world, and you talk more about like in a more emergent theater and less gamey theater, or sorry, more emergent improv, less gamey improv. I talk about Viola Spolin all the time.
What is that emergent?
Emergent. I have to credit Holly Mandel of the Groundlings. She does
Improvolution.
Of Improvolution is the school she started, but. She of her own accord does what we call emergent improv, which is, you know, what phrases she uses to describe it is very frothy. It's so like, let's say we're walking on stage and one of my shoulders is up and one of my shoulders is down. That immediately tells me something and makes me feel something. And I don't need to jump to invent plot and game that I'm, you know, we're cousins and I lost my dog. Like, I don't need to invent plot. It's like letting it emerge naturally from what the room looks like, how my body feels. It's this like frothier, slower improv that you've seen it. I'm sure people
That's how I play.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's the exact opposite of how I play. So this is hilarious.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very Viola Spolin. There's a few exercises that I do when I teach people improv that are Viola Spolin exercises. And Aretha Sills teaches and actually just recently came and taught a workshop in New York.
Related to
of that same descent. I think it's his daughter. I guess I should have checked that granddaughter, but
Wikipedia.
Yeah, but anyway, Holly and that emergent style.
People come to no
cool.
suggestions for the facts.
Yeah,
and accuracy. Yeah, facts and accuracy. That's what we're
good.
Really
I'm
for.
full of facts.
I love that. I mean, I want to say I was raised on those books because being a young person in New York, when I came back to New York, I went to college elsewhere and I came back to New York and just loitering in Barnes and Noble and Drama Bookshop, I read the Viola Spolin book probably, 3 times. So I know those games, cool. I've stolen a lot of my games from there. So I understand in some part how important that is. But New York is the people, I feel like from what I understand, the pre-UCB world, and then definitely the UCB world, it's all people from Chicago, but I think it's very IO centered. I don't think a lot of Second City stuff came here. I think we're very much like jams and improv. Like,
I would agree, and much more similar to like IO and the Annoyance. I want to circle back to your question you asked about improv versus sketch at Second City, because you were saying wondering kind of how that works. In my world at Second City, we were always doing improv. Any audition you did was always improv, but what you are auditioning for is actually primarily sketch. And when you take their classes in the beginning, if you're earlier, less like levels on, it's more all about improv. The higher level you get, once you're in their conservatory, which is like that 6th level program, you're doing a lot less improv. And the improv you are doing is for the sake of getting to sketches. They teach this entire methodology to basically improvise to make it into a sketch. Or if you have a premise for a sketch, okay, let's get up and we're going to improvise it and figure out and get there and like get it on its feet that way. Which has bled into me and how I am now. Like if I'm going to sit and write, like writing my solo show, right? Like I'm never just like beep boop sitting at my laptop. Like I get up and just improvise and see how we're going to get there. But that's what I would say, at least with Second City, is like the end product of a Second City show or Second City anything was never like, we're going to do a fully improvised show. If they did have that, it was very minimal. Of all of the stages that they have in that building, most of them are doing sketch reviews and sketch heavy shows with music and other things.
This is a very professional firm. We do professional work here. I want you to understand that. This is, in case you're wondering, this desk is made of oak and marble.
Oak. Oh.
Yes. Shrink back at the majesty. Anyway, it's a very professional firm. We do very professional work, and I want you to understand that.
Yes,
that
very
if
important.
you are going to be accepted into this firm, become a partner in this firm, Grady.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
Very important work we do here. Very important.
Understand that this is a firm. This is a firm with a form. This is a firm with a form. I didn't misspeak. This is a firm with a form.
He never misspeaks.
You've never
meant to
misspoken.
say form.
Grady, tell us about your background.
Tell us about your background, Grady.
Yeah, absolutely. So went to Cornell undergrad, got a nice big degree in finance, and just here with my very tight tie and my brown belt. And I've never been in a room with such important businessmen before.
Yes.
So not to firm and form and just a little
Grady, we respect firmness here.
Firmness.
yeah.
We
And you
respect
seem
firmness at the
very-
firm. That's our form.
You seem very frothy and loose, sitting in that granite chair.
Oh
Yes. I feel deceived because you've come in here with a very tight tie and very upright, but down beneath you feel you picked up on the same thing I did, Sylvian.
Yes.
That Grady
You
is
seem like
very loose, frothy,
someone took
wavy.
something and shook you up a bit.
Oh, you're seeing. It's like you're seeing right through me.
Seem as
No,
though
I-
your spine is made of some sort of python or cobra that is lithe and writhing. This is a map of the world that I triangulate the plot where we next will take over corporately with our firm.
We're corporate raiders. You know what that means? It means we buy businesses and then we cut them up and then sell the parts for more than what we bought it for.
Pillagers, pirates, Vikings.
Pillagers, pirates. I'm taking
You need
a
to be upright.
vigorous.
You need
Sturdy.
to. You have to be able to do what we just did to you. Look at us and say what our deepest weakness is.
Yes, absolutely.
Gaze into our eyes.
Wow, your eyes are so big. Sorry. Yes, of course, sir.
My eyelashes and my eyebrows are both white.
They're
Yeah.
so white. I've never seen something so stark. When I look at you, I see a wind. I see a breeze. I see nothing behind.
Wait, what?
I see nothing inside you. You're all firm, and then inside it's just
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
air.
We
Nothing.
are nothing inside except for numbers.
Numbers, facts,
Yes.
right angles,
Information.
data.
The more I look in your eyes, the more I see 798765452,
Yes.
and a few zeros and ones as well.
That's my bank account number.
Fantastic. Grady, you've impressed us. That was a decent job.
It was decent.
Not great. Good.
Yeah. I would say middle of the road.
Which we like.
It makes you unsuspecting.
Makes you reliable, clear.
So you're okay with a
I need to come up with more synonyms. Makes you predictable.
Compendious.
Yes.
Yes.
Reliable.
I said that
Malleable.
one.
We said that one.
Oh.
Malleable is the opposite of rigid, so
Malleable.
don't describe
No,
yourself
don't
that
be
way.
malleable.
Yeah, don't be malleable.
No.
Malleable people get taken advantage of.
Malleable people get sent down to the dogs and the hogs in the basement.
All right, so we're gonna hire you, and we're gonna lowball your salary.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like that's earned.
No, that's not. You got to be a
What did
ruthless
you just open
negotiator.
there?
I just pulled out a quill, a ink pen.
Oh.
I was about to sign you, but you proved weak in the negotiation.
Oh, I was trying to be
Spineless.
amenable.
No.
Amenable is not what we want.
Don't be malleable. Don't be amenable.
Okay.
Make your
You know
spine
what? I
rigid.
just keep trying to people please, but the people aren't pleased.
Oh, people, please.
I'm not people.
People.
Do you think corporate raiders people please?
People pirate. People
pillage. People plunder.
People pulled apart piece by piece.
Peter Pepper, peck of pickle.
You messed up in the early part scene. Super fun.
So silly.
Yeah.
That one was true to self. No.
Same. No, I am nothing but just numbers on the inside.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that in you.
Yeah. No, I think you really saw the real me right there. Yeah.
Kind of found
That's
it.
also my bank account number.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Do you know your bank account number?
No.
I don't know.
It started as numbers and then it turned into 7654321.
I did realize that.
I was like, uh oh.
Okay, wait. So we talked about. Yeah. Okay. You said as you rise up, it's less and less. Yeah. It's really. I think it's a advantage and a disadvantage for New York because there's this article. Article or interview. I don't know. It's something. I'm obsessed with this bit of information, which is, I think Bob Odenkirk was maybe on Improv Nerd.
Mhm.
Jimmy Carrane. You ever met this guy? I'm obsessed with him. He's a Chicago guy, and he does this podcast called Improv Nerd, which I think is probably the best improv podcast, or maybe, I don't know. It's a really good improv podcast, but Jimmy Carrane is a very unusual personality. Anyway, he interviewed Bob Odenkirk, from Breaking Bad, whatever.
Mhm.
And, of course, and he said, yeah, okay, so there's all these improvisers that are learning improv. Everyone's training in improv. Great. Okay. But like, what are you going to do with it?
Mhm.
What happens? Everybody's doing shows. Okay, great. Everybody's doing a show at a bar. Okay, but what happens from there? What are you going to do with this skill set?
Mhm.
And that I feel like is very New York. There's a lot of highly trained, really good improvisers here. None of us have any idea what to do with it.
I
And
feel
I-
very called out right now.
Yeah. And I think in Chicago, the translating to writing, because writing is a currency.
Mhm.
I think writing is a way to go like, oh, I can build content that is repeatable and storable. It's hard to, it's hard to bottle just straight improv, especially in perpetuity. So it's very interesting. But on the other side of it is that sort of polish that can be attractive, but New York has that, that fucking thing.
Grunge.
You have that grunge.
That
Thank
grunge.
you.
It's a little, I would not call Chicago's scene grunge. Maybe the Annoyance. Annoyance has the most of that grunge. But overall, it is just more of the polish. And it's interesting you talking about like improv as not being a final like form or a final destination and being like, okay, we're these fabulous improvisers. And then like, now what? And I think it's double edged. I think just wanting to be an incredible improviser, and there are people who want to come and see improv and having that be like, that's the thing that I do is awesome. And I mean, I think me being an improviser, like it helps all the other things I do. Like I am an actor, like I am, it helps me be a better actor for sure. And like in this whole crazy world of like trying to be an actor and doing self tapes and doing the world of like auditioning and stuff, like being an improviser makes you better at all of it, especially better at being a writer at like, just, I don't know. I think being an improviser is such, weapon's the wrong word. It's such a
It's a weapon.
asset. It's a weapon
yeah.
that like people, because I don't know. I think there's a lot of actors and there are improvisers, but when they merge, I think it's super strong. I'm proud to be like, I'm both,
Yeah, I feel like I wonder what the archetype of a Chicago actor is, but for me, the archetype of a New York actor, or just actors in general, right now in this generation. God,
Are you going to call them weak?
Boomer. Yeah, they feel weak to me.
Yeah.
Very brittle, frail, and weak. You know,
Yeah.
because they're just scared of anything you ask them to do, except for comedians and improvisers are included in that. When you ask them to do something, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? They're just like, all right, let's do it. I don't know. You know, and that attitude, I love it. I think it's the attitude that gets really cool things made because people can just go, okay, let's try it and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, I used to
I'm
be
glad that you've called out that I've said this many times.
Yeah, I used to be very proud of the fact of having that attitude, but then I realized that it's just become a bit like default operating procedure when I'm like, oh, I should really like plan for things sometimes and like be proactive and prioritize.
But that's the thing you're talking about, which is like when you have that attitude and that energy and that training, when you then go in to write things, now it's
Oh yeah, it's such like divergent thinking, right? Like you get to the idea. I mean, I think I used to never think of myself as a writer. I'm like, oh, I'm not really a writer because I do not like just going and sitting with my like computer and like beep boop typing and writing a bunch of stuff. But then I'm like, well, Liz, when you go and improvise it, I love coming up with an idea and then sitting in a room or doing whatever and just improvising it or in front of a mirror and then working the idea and then writing it down.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, are you not then writing? Like I had a friend being like, oh, you're totally a writer. But I'm like, I don't know. To me, being a writer is just like brain to page. But I think improv for me is a cool like interim before it goes to the page. And like all of the coolest things that I've ever written started with an idea that I improvised in some way.
It's a really interesting thing that in New York, there's people just do improv, just get reps in. Maybe as much or if not more than like, especially, I think it still is now. Like New York is a very rep heavy. We have jams, we got drop-ins, you know, aside from classes and shows, we got, you know, there's just so many opportunities to get up on stage.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that's interesting about us, we probably have this problem more than any of the other, what's the other big three? I mean, it's probably LA, Chicago, New York, right? Probably more than the other places. We're really loath to say that we're actors. We're loath to say that we're comedians. We're loath to say that we're writers. We're loath to even acknowledge that what we are, we're self-directing. So we're actors, comedians, writers, directors. You know, if you're a trained improviser in New York, you essentially have all those skills, but we don't.
Look, I
don't think of it as that.
I went to medical school and I do have a degree and a license.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to refer to me as your doctor. Okay? How about, you know, like I can do this operation, but I don't really consider myself a surgeon. I think a surgeon is the person that kind of comes in and cuts people up and fixes them. Whereas what I really do is I take a lot of research. I look at standard operating procedures. I kind of consult with my colleagues. We evaluate a lot of different tests, then come to a conclusion, then come up with a surgical plan.
This is really interesting,
and then,
but my wife looks very worried, and it's probably because my chest is open. It's probably because you've cut my chest open.
It's true.
And my heart is exposed. I feel great.
Babe, I gotta say, I think I kind of like this guy.
You're doing a great job.
He's kind of like, Doctor, how we all doing tonight? He's different.
No.
He's not like all the
I
other
refuse the
doctors.
identity of a doctor. Just I will try and do something to your husband's body. Whether or not
this
it can be classified as
blanket that you're wearing as you're doing the surgery is also beautiful.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
My yaya made it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's
incredible.
the weaving, and it says your name on it.
Yes. It just absent of any other identity. I am my yaya's grandchild, and I won't claim anything else. So but I will. You know what? I will put your sternum back in place and get your heart covered up.
I mean, whenever you're ready, Doc, I'm chilling. Also, in this IV, you put kombucha. I mean, I'm really feeling it.
Yeah.
Ginger is very anti-inflammatory.
Feels great, Doctor.
This is the mother SCOBY that I make all my kombucha for my patients for.
Oh my gosh.
It's on my desk. Everyone thinks it's some weird specimen from like a medical textbook, but no, it's how I get my booch.
Is this out of line? I just want to say your goatee and your dreads, they're beautiful.
Thank you.
They're just majestic.
Yeah, you have such an aura. It's like it's so pink and purple, and it just
Look, guys, enough with the descriptors.
Sorry.
I'm just a man who cuts things, who puts things back into place, and then charges you money for it afterwards.
We came to you because we heard you're the best heart surgeon in the Midwest. That's why we came to you.
That's right, babe.
Yeah. Look, every other so-called doctor refers their challenging patients to me. I have a tertiary care clinic. And look, I just refuse the identity of doing what I do. Okay? I'm just a guy. And I do things.
That sounds so.
Yeah, my
it feels like a
bongos-
poem when you talk. When you beat those bongos. I don't know. It's so wild.
Yeah.
It's so wild. I've never. It's so
Look,
weird
you
how
seem very at
relaxed.
peace with this. So
This is nice.
What do
I'm
you
glad
say?
you had us all take off our shoes. Too.
Yeah, of course.
I feel
For a
way
kid.
better.
Yeah.
Connected
Yeah.
just straight to the earth. And honestly, like I was really concerned about my husband's life, but like
You hadn't slept. You haven't slept in like a day and a half.
No. I mean, look at my eyes. Look at my eyes.
Yeah.
Deep sunken.
would you like some eye drops?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I can't
They
even
also
tell that you-
come from.
Oh, do they come from the mother?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Honey,
Oh.
I never have seen you.
Oh God, ow. Oh God. Okay, well those feel really. Is it supposed to feel like that?
Yes, the pain is part of the process. That is a
trust-
key thing. I'm not a doctor, but any medical practitioner would know is pain is part of the process.
I feel like, doctor, you should maybe you already are practicing holistic medicine because you're doing a surgery on me. My wife is on ayahuasca. You're really a comprehensive, doing comprehensive health care here.
Yes. Yep.
Doctor, is that acid? Did you give my wife acid?
I've given everybody acid. You're on acid too.
Wow.
Oh my god!
I used my 7 years of working for surgeons on all that.
excellent.
Yeah. None of that would.
Oh my
relevant.
gosh.
Yeah.
I really felt transported to the 70s just now.
Me
It's like I was
too.
watching Serpico or something. It was beautiful.
I do love how often, whenever I do things like that, people are just like, "You're a spiritual leader," and I'm like, it's like I love this because now I know I can start a cult.
You
You know,
can.
whenever I'm feeling financially insecure, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? That's the day I start my cult.
Pick it up and start
Yeah.
it.
Could open a community theater. It's really not
It's
far
the-
off.
Yeah, yeah.
The children will follow you into the dark.
I took my first acting class last summer, and I realized that so many acting classes are just like rife for cults. And then a lot of it, I just feel like is like forced trauma bonding, which I think is also just a cult thing. So yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
I have to say that our points of view about theater and acting and comedy and the relationship that they have, I think are so aligned because I got into acting late, but I started acting when I was 16. That's not late. But I never got into that whole people pleasing or guru thing. And it was because I started with improv. Acting for me started with improv, and I think there's something about comedy that insulates you from that a little bit. That doesn't let you go into the, you know what I mean? Because
Yes.
it's so truth based. You have to call out things that are weird.
Yes.
But the acting classes, that culture, no one calls it out because everyone's trying to like.
Fit into the
I think
thing.
like
Yeah.
also comedy forces you to bomb.
Yeah.
Like it, makes like it. You can't avoid it,
Yeah.
no
and I
matter
think
how hard you try. Yeah.
improv is very democratic in its own way. You know, like it's we more than me. And I think with acting, especially in those settings where like you have the teacher, there's always the like, I want the teacher to like me the most or think I'm the most special, like
Yeah.
I'm the one. Whereas in improv, it's like the most well done. Like when you see earlier, we were discussing like our favorite teams. Right? Are we with the dynamics? We're like, oh wow, look at them. It's a organism more than just like that one star. Like improv is it's a team sport, and I've always liked that about improv.
I wonder how. See, I would like to. This is what I was trying to get to. This is a thought I was trying to get to even earlier. There's something about New York where it's a bunch of artists who we all get here, and we're like, I'm gonna figure out how to make money doing my art, but we don't get there. I think even in Chicago, they're probably better at it because there's work. You know, the improvisers get hired to do stuff, and they do plays, and they do local film and movies and stuff. In New York, there's more of a separation. In LA, for sure, there's, you know, the film and TV work is out there. In New York, I think what ends up happening is there's people who want to make money, but really, if you stay in New York, you're a purist and you really what you mostly care about is getting really good at and innovating in the form you're in. And that is in many ways incompatible with moving ahead and making money. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. And you want to know what? Thinking like when I, like the idea right now, I'm developing this solo show and I'm doing it in New York, but the idea of taking it out, and when I go to other places now outside of New York and doing it in like smaller towns or in my old community theater or whatever it is, it's so, you kind of forget you're in that purist world. Like when you go out of New York, you're like, oh, what? And like these theater, it's because it's so saturated and you're so in it and you are purist and you're in the form and you're surrounded by
everyone
people
you know is an artist.
As an artist. And so when you go out of that, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird, I encounter that. And it's why it's why people come here and get so concentrated and so good. But in some ways you can, like I was just watching the other night, Dave Attell's new stand-up special. You know Dave Attell? Dave Attell is like a legendary New York stand-up. He's like, he used to host this show called Insomniac on Comedy Central. And he's just like the quintessential, New York stand-up comedian. But he's not really that famous. He's like a guru to a lot of, all New York comics know and love Dave Attell. Everyone, he was in, Amy Schumer's movie Trainwreck. He's like a guru and a mentor to a lot of New York comics, but he never got big. He had a TV show he did, but he's just a pure, there's stories that people tell about him where he still will call a comic up at 2 a.m. and go, hey, do you have a joke about peppermint patties? You know what I mean? And he's like almost 70 years old or something. He's just like, that is what I think a New York artist is, comedian, whatever you are. It's just, I don't know, there's something about this city. I don't know if it's the seasons, the winter, and this, I don't know, there's something about us that's just like locked into, like, we just get locked into just the form and the thing we're doing more than. I'm rambling.
I'm following you, and I agree. Again, I've only been in New York a couple of years, but I've already felt that, and I feel it in myself. I mean, I think in the years I've been in New York, have been much more about the craft and about and being more in it. Like, yes, I was in it in Chicago or whatever, but I always felt very, polished is the word, like kind of in it. And now I feel like I'm in the trenches with it, and I'm in the work, and I'm like doing the kind of stuff, and like I'm finding, I don't know if like my voice is the right way to say it. I feel like I'm in it more than I used to be, kind of like sitting above it or like wanting to be with it or in it. Now I feel like New York, like you're in it and you don't really have a choice to be if you're in it,
You're in the gutter. You're downer. You're just down there. There with the filth.
We're down here just in the poop, in the lurch, in the muck.
This is
sorry.
Those aren't even words you're saying.
Yeah, I wanted to say this is where I feel the most at home.
In the muck, in the gutter.
Yeah.
In the yuck, in the nasty.
Yeah.
In the trash, in the dirty. In the mud.
Yeah. We all know where we are.
It's gross.
I want to say I like it here.
Just down here in the bottom, in the belly, in the hull of the ship.
Look, when I was a little kid, I was trapped in a well.
Mm-hmm. Does it feel any different now?
No, I feel like ever since I came out of that well, all I've wanted was to crawl back into a void of filth.
Back into it.
Back into the well.
I used to feel like I was above the muck. I used to feel like I was above the gutter. Could sit on top of it and go, hey, I'm a king. I'm up on my high horse. I got knocked down real fast. And I got knocked off of that high horse, and that horse pooped on me.
I used to feel like a little worm going down through the mud, going down, making my own little tunnels, and then getting stuck at a dead end, having to go butt first, going back up through the mud, back up to the earth,
scoot your butt back
scoot
up.
my butt all the way back up till I finally broke earth, found the sun, and then it would be raining and someone step on me, and I had to go back down.
Go right back down.
Go right back down into the filth.
Yeah.
That's where we belong.
You ever been stepped on a rainy day?
Of course I've been stepped on a rainy day. I feel insulted that you think I wouldn't have been stepped on a rainy day.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't know if you've seen Darkness.
You guys, every time I leave my house, I tell my wife, hey, I'm only going to be at the bar for a half an hour. And then I've been here for 7 days.
My wife died by being stepped on a rainy day.
Oh, look, it's not a competition, guys. It's not. I just wanted to say I like it here in the filth.
All right. I just feel that but I'm down low too. I'm also down real low.
I feel like when I started this and brought everybody here, I was like hoping for kind of like a spiritual kumbaya moment, but it just seems like we're now in a pissing contest.
I lost a tooth back there.
Yeah. I don't think worms. I don't piss. I just poop little worm poops.
That sounds like a medical issue scene.
Do worms pee?
I don't know.
I don't. Well, I mean, I don't know if they have different defecations.
Maybe
I think it's all the same thing.
Through.
Yeah, it's like a bird. Like a bird pees and poops at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, that's why
all,
it's like that.
It's all one thing. They have a.
Damn, beautiful.
I don't know
informational
why I
podcast.
know this, but the whole like the
cloaca? Is
yeah,
that
the
what it's
cloaca. Yeah.
How do you both know that?
yeah,
hate
I heard
that.
it in some
I hate
comedy
that.
movie.
yeah, it's cloaca, and it's Latin for common sewer, and I almost got my friend to name her dog that
That's
because she did
hilarious.
not know. She was just like, cloaca just sounds so fun.
I think our 3Prov team is called Common Sewer.
Common sewer.
Wow, there it is.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
it.
do they read Latin in Greece?
No, they
Damn
read.
it.
Yeah, it's Greek in Greece.
I thought I
Yeah.
had a callback.
Oh, that would have been so good.
Yeah, that'd
Do they
Yeah,
have
but
like
it's
a like? Is there like a continued Roman rivalry, or is that just something that we make up?
Not that I have experienced. I think it might be
Okay.
something that we make up.
Gotcha.
But maybe I was going to the wrong parts of Greece. You never know.
You never know.
This is my last question. What do Greece and Chicago have in common? It's not a trick question. I'm just asking.
Deep dish pizza. No, I'm joking. What do Greece and Chicago have in common? You want to know what? They both have easy
Hairy man.
access to a really awesome body of water. Being in Chicago, you are right on Lake Michigan. The beach is there. It's so huge beach, so clean, so nice, and you can just walk to it from the city. Chicago is awesome in that way, and Greece, obviously, you're by so much body of water, you're just out in it. And like obviously, Chicago is cold a lot of the time, but I think the proximity to that body of water.
What do you miss most in New York about Chicago, and what is the thing that you can never get in Chicago that you can get a lot of here in New York?
I love that. I miss the most. I mean, I guess in Chicago, I mostly miss my friends, my people there, and I miss driving. Oh man, do I miss getting in my car and going to the grocery store. I love being in my car. I do such good thinking, and like I love being in my car. So I miss that in New York. But what can I get in New York? Opportunity. Even being here tonight with you guys is so fun, and like the opportunity to perform as much as I am and do the stuff that I've been doing and the stuff that I'm going to keep doing, like it doesn't exist in the way that it does in Chicago, and New York has welcomed me, and I feel more a part of it here than I did in Chicago. And I'm really thankful for that.
I'm thankful for Radio Free Brooklyn. You're listening to Radio Free Brooklyn, independent listener supported radio. Thanks for listening. Your support keeps us going. If you'd like to listen to Radio Free Brooklyn when you're out in front of your computer, please download a free mobile app for iPhone and Android, available in the App Store for iPhone, Google Play, or Android. Okay, we got a minute left. Tell people tell about Improvolution.
I'm going to talk about my solo show.
Talk about your solo
yeah,
show.
so I'm doing a solo show. It's called Lizzie Sunshine. It is a one-woman show with character, with singing and some improv. I wish I could have told you guys more about the improv that I do in it, called Made Up Dress Up, where I improvise a character based on what the audience dresses me up as.
Excellent. Fun.
I love it. It's so fun. It's really heartfelt. There's a huge twist in the end.
Where
of
is it
crowd
running
work.
and how long is it running?
I just did it at SoloCom at the Pit, and I am producing it now. I'm submitting it a bunch of places. I don't have a
Awesome.
firm date,
Sounds
but
like
it
a
will be
great
running.
How can people find it when it
Follow
is
me
ready?
at Liz Coyne on Instagram. I'll be posting it all there.
Woo! How do people find you, Jake?
Oh, I'm Foolish Boy on Instagram, but all the O's are zeros. It's confusing. Don't try and find me.
And I am Ralph Jean Pierre. You can find me, this podcast, and my music at preciousgorgeous.com. And what is the theme for tonight's show?
Ooh,
Moussaka.
Moussaka.
Firm Moussaka.
Firm Moussaka.
Okay, good. There's no suggestion. We love you.